What it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. It's your boy, The Grizz, and welcome back to Yesterday Today. So we got a lot to talk about today, especially in the PlayStation market. The PSVR Part 2 was announced, but we'll get more into that details. And there's also some exclusive PlayStation games now going over to PC with more to follow. And another big PS5 game delayed into 2022, and well, let's just dive right into it. This is officially Yesterday Today for February 24th, 2021. Alright, lads and ladettes, so let's start off today with some Marvel's Avengers. So if you've been playing Marvel's Avengers, I commend you. I'm hearing a lot of mixed things. I'm hearing people are having fun, but there is not a lot of in-game stuff to be there, and a lot to have been had. So it appears that, we just got Kate Bishop, so now we're going to get her father, Hawkeye, Clint Barton, on March 18th. And as you know, that the more content updates and the more characters that drop, the game will continue to get better. So if you're a fan and you've been playing this game, go ahead and stick with it, because there has been a leak. A possible leak from known leaker by the name of Miller over on Twitter, and they released this schedule they were about 90% sure of the schedule, and they said in this order, updated character release order: Clint Barton, Hawkeye; Peter Parker, King T'Challa, Black History Month; Jennifer Walters, Bucky Barnes, Carol Danvers, and James Rhodes, Black History Month, my man Brody. So we are, this is the official, this looks pretty good, and if the game continues to improve, maybe I'll dive into it or not. I'm not a big fan of these games as the service games, but it's really good to know that this game might actually be able to make a comeback, because with these games as a service games, it's kind of hard to just come out and launch and just everything be perfect. They had to learn. Even Destiny 1, when it launched, it was rough. Destiny 2 was a bit of a rough launch, but they definitely got it. Even the Division had to shake it, but the Division is still going very strong. So you got to go in there and get your feet wet, and before you completely jump in and start swimming, you really, really need to just, test the waters. And they tested the waters, and let's hope that these character updates something will happen, and something big will be some serious changes. Given the fact that I'm over here on the PS5, if Peter Parker comes out and Peter Parker seems to be awesome, well, guess I'm gonna have to jump on Avengers, because who doesn't love Spider-Man, and who doesn't love Black Panther? Rest in peace to the real Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. And I'm really, really excited to even at least see where this goes. What about you? Let me know down in the comments below. Alright, lads and lads, let's talk about some Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon. So this year marks the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. A lot of anniversaries this year, but I ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Metroid and Zelda, but we know it's a Zelda game coming out. Do we know about a Metroid? We just had a direct. But anyway, Pokemon Day is this weekend, and there is a rumored Diamond and Pearl remake possibly happening. And well, let me also show you something on Twitter. Central Pokemon Leaks, a popular Twitter account known for Pokemon leaks, of course, tweeted out the fact that the Pokeball Plus has gotten a reprint of recertification of the child's product certificate. And hey, this is kind of right around the time they're getting the Diamond and Pearl rumors. And with Pokemon Day this weekend, and they're doing it just this week, well, it's quite interesting to see what's happening. And Diamond and Pearl is one of those big Pokemon games that's just been held up to a high standard that I've heard of, not being a Pokemon fan myself. But if this actually happens this weekend, and then you get to see that it integrated with the Pokeball Plus, well, I can't wait to see the internet explode, because Pokemon, in the words of Triple H, it's best for business. So, why not? I can't wait to see everybody's reaction. And let me know what you think about this if you are a Pokemon fan down in the comments below. Games with Gold, and as you can see here right in front of you, it's just another month of Games with Gold. At this point, I really do believe and feel that Xbox should just raise the $5, make all of this merge, and don't give us gold. Continue to give us and roll out these wonderful games you're putting on Game Pass. All of this stuff just basically screams out Game Pass at this point. And I mean, just giving us Games with Gold is what it is, right? You get free games, why not? They don't really know what to give us anymore, right? So from March 1st to March 31st, the whole month basically, you have Warface Breakout, and that's just a spinoff of the free-to-play game Warface, where it's a little bit more tactical. Kind of looks a little Rainbow Six-ish, but we'll see where this actually goes. And then you also have Vala, a game where you basically get in a mech, and there's just a bunch of basically zombie llamas coming after you. Now that I actually will play. That actually sounds quite entertaining. Then of course you have, that's also March 16th to April 15th. And then of course you have from March 1st to March 15th, Metal Slug 3, the classic. You can't go wrong with a classic, right? Except a lot of us have played it probably millions of times if we wanted to play it. And then lastly, on the Xbox 360 side, as well as Metal Slug 3, you have Port Royale 3. And well, I'm not one to speak on these types of games. I'm not the guy, but this is your full breakdown for Xbox Games with Gold of March. And well, I'm kind of disappointed. What about you? Let me know down in the comments below. As we have Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Had to look for a second, forgot. But anyway, it's a shame that we actually have to talk about this in the vein that we're talking about it. See, Paradox, the publisher, they're switching developers in the middle of development. I have no idea what's going on. I can't say anything. I'm not on the development side. I don't know. But the game seemed to have been well along the way, and now midway through they're deciding to switch a development. As you can see here, they released an official statement, and this coming to you from Kotaku, and it says, we have now chosen to postpone the release of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 further, and we will not be launching the game in 2021. We have also decided that Hardsuit Labs will no longer be leading the development of Bloodlines 2, and we have started a collaboration with a new studio partner to finish work on the game. This has been a difficult decision, but we are convinced that it is the right way forward to do this game the justice. Now, I'm really wondering what has happened. Why are they so afraid? And I'm hoping, sometimes these publishers, they go, oh, why isn't there microtransactions? This doesn't seem like it's going to make money. But at the same time, I'm not going to put the publisher down, because maybe they're making the right call here. Maybe this is just CD Projekt Red in the glory days, and we're just going to feel like, hey, they made Bloodlines 2. Why not really give them some grace? So hopefully the game looks better, plays better, at its best form, because, hey, we got Metroid Prime 4 delayed into God knows when because they switched developers in the middle of it. So hopefully, really, I trust Nintendo, absolutely. But as far as Paradox goes, I don't know. I'm willing, and I'm keeping an open mind, because from what I saw in Bloodlines 2, it looked pretty good. So I'm really hoping that the next developer really sinks their teeth into the game and gets down to the nitty gritty. Let me know now what you think about this in the comments down below. Alright, lads and ladettes, it's all PlayStation news from here on out, and the meat and potatoes. So I'm going to hit you with some disappointing news, then I'm going to hit you with some news at first. So I definitely want to start off with being disappointed that Gran Turismo 7 is officially delayed out of 2021 due to COVID-related issues. Because today, Jim Ryan sat down with GQ, and in an interview he discussed a lot of things, but first I want to just discuss the disappointing news as far as what he said about Gran Turismo. With the ongoing pandemic, it's a dynamic and changing situation, and some critical aspects of game production have been slowed over the past several months. We'll share more specifics on GT7's release date when available. And hey, I think that's good. I always think delays are good. If you feel like it needs a little bit more time in the oven to cook, please, by all means, do not be discouraged, because Gran Turismo is usually a pretty good game, at least from what I've heard. I've never really heard any serious complaints about Gran Turismo as well. So that's the bad news. Let us move on to the better and then the good news on the PlayStation side. Very lucky to have a PlayStation 5, and a lot of you still haven't had a chance to get one. In fact, I was actually having a conversation with a friend on Facebook. Shout out to my man JP Undiluted, of the Undiluted podcast, and he said they need to stop playing and they need to just put consoles in the stores. And while I think that sounds wonderful, but you don't want riots and people crowding stuff, because once people finds out that there's stock there, with all of the stuff going on with COVID and the pandemic, you might not want that. But Jim Ryan was just straight up asked by GQ, what is holding back production? We'd imagine it's more than just COVID. And Jim Ryan, he said in a lengthy statement, obviously in the pandemic, supply chains become a little more complicated than would normally be the case. One very visible example is the difficulties in the semiconductor market. Whether it's automobiles, smartphones, PCs, or games consoles, the problems in all those areas are very widely documented. we had to move to a distribution model that is entirely online, and that's something that we never had to do before. They had to move everything online. They're being told don't send it to stores. If you send it to stores, some people might just have it in the stores, stuff like that. This I do heard. If you come in with the USB thing to scan. But he goes on and continues and says, and finally, just the level of demand for the PlayStation 5. So you know, all of those things kind of combined. We're working as we always have, but with renewed vigor and energy post Christmas to get supply up. It will increase as each month passes, and the situation will start to get better, hopefully quite quickly. We have been relentless in terms of trying to increase production, and I really can't say any more than that. Well, it doesn't seem like they appear to be sitting on their hands. They're actually selling the PS5 at a loss, it seems, but they've sold almost maybe 10 million or maybe even more close to the PS5, because PS5 is in demand, right? Everybody wants a PS5 even though they don't regularly play games. I'm talking about, seriously, I see people all the time, oh man, I want a PS5. You're not going to open it for 2 years, I know, but I just want it. Well, I see a lot more of that happening than any other system. Maybe the Nintendo Switch as well, not as much as the Xbox, but of course the Xbox is hard to get as well. But Jim Ryan, he's just straight up transparent why you can't get a PS5, why you will maybe be able to get a PS5 before the end of the year and maybe in the coming months. Officially great news for Days Gone fans. It is officially coming to PC. So for some reason you haven't played Days Gone on PS4 or PS5 and you're only on PC, well, if you're waiting to just max out and play everything on Ultra, you can play later this spring. Ben Studios has announced, and they're excited in a tweet. Surprise, Days Gone comes to PC this spring. Stay tuned for more details. And well, if you played Days Gone and enjoyed it, maybe you want to play again on PC. And if you're playing for the first time, just like they did last year with Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, I wish you well, and hopefully the launch isn't as iffy as Horizon Zero Dawn was. It is official. Sony has announced on a blog post yesterday that there will be PSVR 2, whatever it is going to be called, on the PS5, and I'm actually very excited. I love the PS4 VR, but it was a little too cumbersome, the cords, and then certain games required the hand motions and everything like that, but they gave us some pretty fair detail on what to expect with the PS5 VR on this blog post. And here's what they said. This is a little bit of an excerpt, and it says, we're continuing to innovate with our new VR system so that our fans can continue to enjoy the unique experiences that are synonymous with PlayStation. We're taking what we've learned since PlayStation VR, PSVR, on PS4 to develop a next-gen VR system that enhances everything from resolution and field of view to tracking and input. It will connect to PS5 with a single core to simplify setup and improve ease of use while enabling a high-fidelity visual experience. Now, I don't know if I've said any of this in some of my previous videos. I do like VR. It is quite fun, but seems cumbersome, but a single cord, I am willing to wait however long it takes. They said it's under development. I absolutely trust PlayStation, and I can't wait. But more on the statement, it says, one of the innovations we're excited about is our new VR controller, which will incorporate some of the key features found in the DualSense wireless controller, along with a focus on great ergonomics. That's just one of the examples of future-proof technology we're developing to match our vision for a whole new generation of VR games and experiences. I absolutely cannot wait for this. VR is fun. I remember just last year, I had my my brother and my cousin, they were playing my VR, and we were having such a good time. And my brother, he really doesn't play that many games, so his experience was a lot more hilarious because his hand and eye coordination he was having a hard time. And my cousin, he was having a blast because he plays games regularly. Well, I can't wait to be able to do this and bring it to the living room and have company over when I'm able to have company over, because our governance is like, hey, 10 people and 10 people only in the household if you're going to celebrate any holidays. But I'm really excited about this, and I just can't wait to play this, and maybe if it's backwards compatible, I can go back and play some of those PSVR on PS4 games that I missed out on because it was just too cumbersome. Let me know down below what you think about the VR games down in the comments below. All right, lads and ladettes, here is the best news. We are getting a state of play this Thursday, okay? This Thursday, which is going to be a big, super huge day, because I'm really excited because that is a regular streaming day, but then I'm actually I'm gonna actually react. It won't be live because as it happens, I will be getting off of work around the same time. But I will refrain from watching it or picking up anything until I get home. I'm gonna sit down. I'm going to watch it, and I will be giving you a full reaction for the game. I'm so excited about this. But they released on a blog post all the details of it, and it says, "Time for another State of Play. This Thursday, a State of Play broadcast will serve up new updates and deep dives for 10 games coming to PS4 and PS5, including new game announcements and updates on some of the third-party and indie titles you last saw in June's PS5 showcase." The show is clocking it at 30 minutes or so, give or take. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's 28 minutes and 45 seconds, maybe 44 seconds. Can't wait to hear what you think. In a quick note, there won't be PlayStation hardware or business-focused updates in this show. We're focusing on great games set to come out in the months ahead. Be sure to tune in on Thursday, February 25th, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and 10 p.m. GMT, and you can watch it live on Twitch and on YouTube. So I am really excited about this because just last week we got that disappointing, or was it the week before disappointing, that disappointing Nintendo Direct, and well, it appears that PlayStation is saying hold my beer, or in fact hold my DualSense, and I messed up my own dad joke, but not hold my beer, but hold my DualSense. And hopefully there's going to be some great news. We already got Ratchet and Clank coming this year. We got Returnal. So hopefully we will hear about Horizon Forbidden West very soon. What are you expecting? What are you expecting to hear? What are you looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, lads and lads, thank you so much for watching. Hey, it's a good Wednesday, and it is some great news. Can't wait until I see y'all tomorrow on that State of Play and Thursday's Stream and Chill, so you can come through, ask questions, and chill with me. Thank you so much for watching, and this video is finito.